Alrighty guys, welcome. How are we all doing today, team? Hope we're all doing well. Looking forward to another big day on the charts. A lot of news about today. But as always, guys, we'll see what we can come up with moving forward. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to another edition of the London session. And I hope you guys are all doing well. TikTok, what is going on there? Just got a message from TikTok. All right, interesting. Yeah, TikTok starting to crack down on things. But guys, you need to continue to support me. Yeah, but you know where to find me. You know where to find me if I'm not on TikTok. Jump across the YouTube stream. But anyway, guys, let's have a good one. A big day ahead, guys. Massive day ahead. A lot of news to come today. We've had already quite a bit of news coming out of the day with through the Aussie dollar, also through tariffs. So deals done between the US and Japan, which is kind of spurred the risk on appetite of traders at the minute. So back of that, you got the majors pumping. You've got the Aussie absolutely pumping, which is fantastic for me. But yeah, we'll have a look at it all. What we've got moving forward, we've got obviously the news with we've got Euro PMI to come shortly, French and German PMI to follow shortly after that. So the two major sectors of the Eurozone reporting soon. We've also got the PMI for the pound as well a little bit later on. Probably won't be on stream for that. Plus monetary policy statement for the euro, ECB conference, US dollar unemployment claims for the US dollar, and flash PMI as well, PMI for the US dollar. Big day ahead, huge day ahead, guys. So we need to be wary of the news. But look, for the time being, anyway, as far as what I'm concerned with, and that is trading gold. Still think we can get some options moving forward here today on gold. The main high impact news for gold obviously won't come until NY session here today. But guys, without further ado, if you could, make sure YouTube, don't forget, you need to do me a very simple little favor. Hit that like button for me, team. That's all it takes, just a one quick like. And TikTok, don't forget to smash away that screen for me as well, guys. Would greatly, very much so appreciate it. So guys, without further ado, enough of that, and let's get into the charts and have a look at the gold. Looking at it, starting at the higher time frame, so we are rejecting once again that resistance around the all-time high, just below the all-time high. We've literally tapped into the resistance and we are rejecting quite strongly. More evident on the daily. We can see the daily rejection of that resistance. Not only that, we now do have counter probabilities also to the downside. Lower high, lower low in the current candle. Off the back of that, I see the potential for gold to come down towards 33.40, 33.30 moving forward if we are to continue bearish. When that might buckle low is if we begin to pull back and break our own highs. Then we do have lower high, lower low. I don't feel it's necessarily much of a need for us to pull back up and break our own high. If we did so, and perhaps we've just tapped into a previous level of resistance here to the left to grab liquidity, form some minor support above it, head back up, and we could potentially be back at the all-time high resistance territory yet again, just below the all-time high there. Still bullish in structure, but the counter probabilities to the downside would be more, I'd be more inclined to look for sells off the back of that. The 4 hour is about to close, and we've also got the 4 hour candles creating lower highs, lower lows. We have a potential IC play off the back of the 4 hour. So that is the interruption candle play, guys. We've got an impulse down. We've got a little pause here. We're engulfing on the current 4 hour candle, which is about to close. Off the back of that, there's a high probability the new candle is going to pull back, create an upper wick, where we could potentially place some sell limit orders at the low of that bullish candle. Stop loss back above the high, be about, by the looks of it, 50 pips roughly. It's just an early way to layer into a trade using a price action formation that I'm familiar with, that ticks the lines, that's in line with the rules that I follow. So off the back of that, that could be the first potential early entry, guys. However, let's just draw in some levels here on the 4 hour. We'll mark that candle in. It's about to close. It's going to close bearish. Bar of support, that could be a potential target moving forward on the 4 hour 33.66. Now onto the 15-minute time frame. And all right, so that is the 4 hour low, so we'll keep that in. Onto the 15-minute time frame here. We are also very bearish on this particular time frame. So my options for gold here today is I would rather look for sells at the minute. Now, option 1 will be below, or as I'm actually, option 1 would be the limit order. Back at below of that bullish 4 hour candle, but we want to close strong in the next few minutes. We don't want to pull back up and close just below it. If we do close just below it, then it's not valid upon the IC entry play. So further options would be, we begin to break the support. We are just about to confirm on the minor time frame here, begin to pop below it. So 33.74.60 roughly. If we begin to pop below that support, create a lower low in the daily candle, then I feel there's a high probability that we're heading back down with clean candles towards 33.66, 65, 64, that sort of region. So that would look something like this. We now wipe out those buyers that have just come into the market at this current level, begin to pop below, tap back in, reject, then I will look for a potential opportunity to take a sell. Now, aside from that, what I'll also be looking for is literally just the pullback sell. I'd be looking for price to pull back up towards the most recent, well, the most recent resistance actually lines up below that bullish 4 hour candle, the current 4 hour count, sorry, the one few candles back. It'll overshot in a minute, guys, apologies. But if we do tend to actually pull back towards that 33.88 and do reject it again, and we do have a price action catalyst to do so, I would definitely look for a sell to take it back down. So at the minute, I'm really only interested in the sell options, to be honest. When that would change, to be honest, it's difficult to see it at the moment, because even if we do form support here, running straight into resistance just on the previous candle, above that resistance, you run straight into another resistance, lines up that 4 hour candle's low, and once again you're running straight into the next level of resistance. So it's a bit of a choppy mess to the upside. So to be honest, what I would preference in regards to any particular buy option would be for price to make a clean move down below 33.75, back down towards 33.66, tap into that level of support on the 4 hour, and form a little bit of structure, seeing it is in a pretty strong downtrend at the minute within the current weekly, past few days on the minor time frame. So I would prefer it to form a little bit of structure and then look for a potential buy from the support if it was to present. So that is currently the way I see things moving forward on the gold. Now, as far as the limit order, let me just suss this out. Where would the actual entry be? So on my particular broker, the lowest point is of that particular 4 hour candle, 33.8649. That's a little bit higher up, actually. It's quite a fair bit higher up. It's pretty much 20 pips higher up, and that's what I would really need to follow. So whatever that point is on your broker, that's where you want to basically, if you're following along, that's where you'd want to be setting your sell limit order. Hang on a sec. 49. Now that would be just a small position as like an early way of getting involved. New 4 hour candle pulling back, creates upper wick. So I've just set a limit order sell, but my limit order happens to be higher up because again I'm just following the level on my broker's chart, which is 33.8649, 33.86.49. So whatever that lowest point is on your broker's chart, you do agree with the analysis and you do think it makes sense, that is where I'd be looking for potential limit order option on the gold. Stop loss would be back above, just back above the swing point. Well, back above the bearish counter high, you're looking at about 80 pips roughly, a little bit less than that. So again, it looks different on this particular chart, but that would be a small position where I just keep it open. I'm not going to start securing at 10 pips or whatever. Yeah, that is what I'm currently looking at. Limit order sell, and I'll look for potential further sell options if we begin to pop below. New 4 hours just open. We've got not much of an upper wick. There we go, limit order sells. Alrighty, so that is the goal, guys. So we want it to create an upper wick before any particular entry. It's got a small one here in the 15. All right, so now what we need to see is the 15 close bearish engulfing back below to support. And if we do so, as long as the next candle taps back in and begins to pull away from this previous zone, then I will look for a potential sell to take it back down towards the support here at 33.66. So there are your options currently, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. In the meantime, I will take a look at some of the other pairs as well, and any pairs as per your request. Tell me you're in buys on gold. I think I know why you're in buys. At the 75 level, I'm assuming. All right. GJ, well, that's a chart that I did see in some members group before, so I'll just use this for the time being, saves us a little bit of time. All right, so what I'm seeing on GJ is we have not yet pulled back to tap in. Whilst we're within a range here on the 4 hour, I would rather price come back down to grab liquidity from the lows of the 4 hour range and tap into some support here before looking for potential buys. Now, focus more on the 30, but now seeing the 15, I would adjust that up to this point here. Yep, that's the highest point of any bearish candle at that resistance. So what I would like to see before buying GJ is price actually pull back to tap into the 4 hour support, the lowest point of the support, then begin to pop above and then look for buy options. Otherwise, guys, I would just be strict with it and preference a sell from upon the pullback from higher up. Yeah, and I don't really look at it all that much these days, but that would be my plan for it if anyone is interested. DE40 as well. Just in a bit of consolidation at the minute. Obviously, it's continued to pump off the back of the tariff news from obviously yesterday and today. Yeah, I think you got NASDAQ at all-time highs as well. Most of the indices are absolutely pumping, even the FTSE. But on DE40, what I'd be looking for is price to come back up towards the resistance, which I think is the all-time high actually, and look for potential rejection. So that was just above the current daily high. You're running straight into some more resistance here to the left, so it's not the cleanest level. However, look, it would not be the worst thing to look for, a buy above it upon continuation, because at least within the daily, what you've done is you've pulled back, you've created a, well, we created a lower low. So if you confirm a higher high here and close above, then there's a high probability, in my opinion, we're heading back up to 24.60, so 24,600. Otherwise, pull back buys from lower down. I'd probably just adjust this now to that point there, and really anywhere above the support at 24,468, I'd be looking for pullback buys. And to the downside, it's very choppy, so I'd prefer a clean move down, pull back, and resistance to form. But let's keep an eye on the gold. And in the meantime, wasn't the best start, was it? Mumbling away. But who have we got on stream? Jose, g'day to you, welcome. Tommy, morning to you. Franco, nice background. Is same as what it's been for the past week and bit, but thank you. Paul, all good, nice one. Carl, morning to you. Barman, yep, appreciate it. Give it a like. Goats, g'day to you. So Tommy, you're in the buy soon. Good morning. Kazumi Nikki TV, no trades taken yet today, right? Still, yes, nothing yet, but I do have a limit order sell, which is at the lowest point of the pause bullish candle on my broker's chart, which is a little bit higher up to this chart here. So I do have an order set, but no actual trades executed upon yet. Also had 5 IC that finally got tapped, but I got another break even on a low week. Oh, okay. On gold. Talking about just here? What are you talking about the upside? You're probably talking about the upside here. Somewhere here. Fair enough. All right, TikTok, who we got? Welcome to the 30 odd of you and to the 2 new followers. A little bit disappointing, TikTok. I know why, because I got some warning at the start about, I don't know, they're not recommending my stream for whatever reason. It's not going to show up in people who search. Don't know why. TikTok, gotta get your act together. Not you guys, I mean the platform. Stefan, you're good, nice one. Abdi, Mark is gonna lead today. We'll see. Bat, so much news today, yep. I also trade JJ. What do you think, JJ, today? Just went over it. Yeah, all good, mate, all good. James Jupe. James Jup. Do you look at futures? Not really. But what I do would be the exact same, would work the exact same way for futures. DXY is selling though? Yeah, it would be, because the majors are pumping. But that's why I always say, people, I see time and time again videos explaining, you're not looking at if you're trading gold, not looking at DXY, you're not doing yourself any favors. It's a crock of shit, guys. Yes, for the most part, they inversely correlate, but not always, because you got the DXY melting. You've got gold melting now. So what the hell are these guys going to say to that right now? What are they going to say to that? What I always suggest is just focus on the bloody pair that you're trading. If it's DXY, focus on that. If you're trading XAUUSD, focus on that. Don't be put off by what the other thing's doing. I used to trade GU and GJ, and I used to do the exact same thing. If GU was going up, there'd be no way I'd be selling GJ, even though GJ would be screaming a sell. And then GJ would sell off, and GU would do nothing. I missed the trade, kick myself. So I suggest just watch the chart that you're trading. They don't always inversely correlate. Gold, for the most part, I mean, gold has been a massive uptrend for how many years now? For the past few years. DXY also, until this year, was also in a big uptrend. So that's my personal opinion of it. That, yeah, GJ, so I did mention it. Would prefer it to pop back down to the support 197 or 198. I rounded up to that psychological round number. Grab liquidity from the downside before it breaks and closes above 198.420. The resistance here, most recent resistance at the high for consolidation. Otherwise, I'd be looking for just pullback sells, and that's how I would play GJ. So we've got 6 and a bit minutes remaining, guys. We want gold to close below. It means we're not going to have many people on TikTok at all today. That sucks. Oana, what strategy you use for XAU? Trying to learn how to trade. I use my own price action. I use price action signals, usually in line with the strength of the high time frame candle. So we've got daily lower high, lower low, forming strong bearish. So within that, I'm more likely to look for levels where we could potentially pull back to sell it from. Once I have the right confirmation to do so, once I get the right signal to do so, or continuation sells, which is what I'm currently looking at. I've got options for a limit order based off particular entry. We call it the IC trade, that's interruption candle entry. Present just here on the higher time frame. I've also got potentially based off a strong bearish engulfing closure here. Potential entry down to the lows here at 33.66, so long as that is valid and is confirmed in 5 minutes time. To my members, I will send you guys the link. Apologies. There we go. Empty high impact news today. Yep, a lot of it. James, not really, but again, it's the same. Essentially, what I do should work the exact same way with futures. I do have, well, some of my members do trade futures, some do have prop or valuations, or past them actually, some of the future prop firms. Bruce, how about BTC? Oh, in a little bit of a pullback phase, so I was a little bit surprised with the tariff news that Bitcoin didn't actually pump along with a lot of the risk on assets. But obviously NAS has been moving forward as well, been pushing bullish. Bitcoin's at some very solid support by the looks of things. It's just stuck in a really strong 4-hour range, but for me it's just very bullish. I'd be more inclined, more likely to look for buy options. I would really not even consider sells, to be honest, and I'd probably just draw in these levels here on the 4-hour. And I'm right now seeing we are approaching that 116.50 sort of level. I would personally just wait for the high time frame to tap back into it, and then maybe look for like an hourly or 30-minute some sort of confirmation to look for a buy to take it back up, stop loss safely below this support, and you'd be targeting the high back at 120,000 resistance at that point there on the 4-hour. That's how I would personally look at it, but I don't really trade Bitcoin. I don't trade it at all. Grayson, good day to you. Bruce, all good. Sebastian, good morning to you. Nev, good morning, brother. Hope you're well. Good to have a chat to you last night. Okay, it's always black the whole week with the background. You're talking about in the chart, the trading view chart. Yeah, I did change it last week. Buran, opinion of GJ. Yes, I had a look at it before. Wanted to tap into 197 or 198 flat and bounce off that point before looking for buys above 198 for 20. But let's keep an eye on gold. We've got just under 2 minutes remaining. We want it to close strong. We don't want it to pull back. So let's see, have we got a valid entry potentially presenting in just under 2 minutes, guys? Grayson, crypto having a little pullback. It looks like it definitely is. About time, I suppose. Can't always rocket ship to the moon. All right, so let's stay on a gold. Let's have a look at the 5-minute time frame here as well. So 5-minute structure is to the downside, but there's no really sustained move behind it, to be honest. This is a slow trickle down yet again. So really want the strong confirmation here. We want this candle to close right near its low, right near the low of that support. Which on my broker's chart, we've actually broken the low by the looks of it. Not quite. Not quite. What is low either way? Sleepy. So where would you set your TP? TP, I'd set it at 33.66 would be the overall target. All right, so it's not quite the catalyst, guys, and we've popped up at the open just a little bit. So I'm still patiently waiting. Now the other option could present is if the 30 closes. 30 closes engulfing this support. If the 30 closes below support, we're well and truly engulfing this bullish candle. that could potentially open up a limit order sell at the low of that bullish candle based off the 30. All right, we've broken a low. Now we're pulling back up to break our own high. It's starting to look a little bit better if we broke our own low yet again, guys. But I want this to pull up a little bit higher. So we may watch it now on the 5-minute. And if we close back a bullish candle, if we end up engulfing that bullish candle, close it back below, I may react off the back of that. So we'll see. 100 sleepy? No, that's a limit order. That is limit order based off the 4-hour time frame. It's not, hasn't been triggered in, obviously. Yeah, all good and same. Nice one, mate. Baran, I entered longs on GJ in Asian session. Am I cooked? No, you're not cooked. Hold on. What? Longs in. No, not necessarily. It's moving. I'm just, again, the plan I'd want to present is for it to pop back down before I trust it that it's ready to continue bullish. Doesn't mean it can't continue bullish. You're not cooked at all. If this closes above the resistance here, above the consolidation, then you're actually looking pretty good, to be honest. I'm assuming your stop loss is probably below the swing point. Yeah, my concern is though, if it does actually reject and remain below the zone, then there's a good chance it's still going to come back down to 197, well, 198 flat before we bounce. So gold pulling back. You mean being at 8% of my phase 1 for 2 weeks straight now, winning a trade and then losing a few, it gets frustrating. It's all good, but just stick to your rules and be patient with it, because the beauty is now these days with your challenges, there is no time constraints. So you can just, afford to be more patient with it. Stick to quality entries, and I'm sure, within due time, you're going to actually pass it, not going to knock off that challenge and be a fun trader. So that would be great. 100 sleepy, you always wait for London session, or you might also no, not always wait for London session. Just depends. Asian session I'm not on the charts much. Alex, thank you to both Alexes for the stickers. 100 sleepy, bro. I don't know why gold doesn't pass 33.74. For the moment, it's just trying to form support above it. Does it have to pass it? I mean, no one really knows why it's not. There's obviously a bit of buy pressure at the minute, moving back into the market, but I see all this as liquidity, and I see this as potential liquidity to the downside. If we did pull back up to it, there's a high probability that we may once again reject and continue down. Whilst the minor time frame structure is bearish, when that would begin to change, my opinion of that is when we wipe it out, close above it, come back down, form a support above it, and then I reckon we're good to continue bullish. God Sniper, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're keeping out of mischief these days. You know what, TikTok, I'm really tempted to start the stream again. It might, yeah. Because that particular message for some reason comes up every now and again, and when it does, there's no one on the chart, on the stream. Bro, don't mind me asking exactly, do you do like single group or mentorship? I don't do single groups. I actually started to record a what will be YouTube. I'll probably post on TikTok at some point as well. Video of my opinion of all that stuff. No, there's no signals. I do have a trade ID section. I did actually call an idea before the stream on that potential gold sell, but it became invalid. It's looking if that closed strong bearish for a potential sell order upon continuation, but as I mentioned here, bad close, not valid. So I do trade ideas section instead, where if I see something presenting that I'm considering taking, I'll let the guys know every time I'm looking at a trade. Thoughts on funded X? No idea of them, to be honest, so I don't have any thoughts. Only had experience with one prop firm and only scams, actually called only funds, but never ever buy a challenge from those guys. Stop loss is below those. Okay, fair enough. Saw you on TikTok. You seem like a decent man and trader. You earned a nice one. Appreciate it, mate. Sapphire Rare Stones, get out to you. Your view on gold fall to 33.55. Yeah, potentially. I mean, I'm looking more for sells as well. Oh, sniping me, keeping out mischief, more chance of gold behaving. That bad is it? Nev GU looks interesting on M30. How long? Oh, so we got a bit of time. Otherwise, I would have said we'll wait for gold. M30. Yeah, it's a bit ordinary in my opinion. M30. Let me just mark it up again, just quickly. Weekly, strong bullish. Engulfing the previous candle. Daily, be marking both the high and the low of it, just to see what we've got either side of it. Make our way down to the 4 hour. 4 hour is at some resistance here to the left. So it's pretty difficult area, but it looks a bit to the upside. So therefore it could be a good level to look for potential sells from. But it is pretty much bullish across the board. So yeah, I mean, if you're not in sells anyway just now, it's a bit late. What I'd be looking for in GU is price to pop back down towards this support here, 135.580, and once again form support back above it to look for buys to take it back up, retest the high, and if we have the volume momentum and above the highs here of the current daily, looks pretty good for continuation trades. We do have some clean traffic to the left, and aside from that, sells below, yeah. Still, in this situation, the amount of times I'll see it drop below, and we spoke about this on my call yesterday. We get people into sells and only for it to pop back above, sweeps from liquidity, and then ends up trading in line with the structure. So I'd be very cautious trying to sell it. I would just preference the buys whilst it's in a really strong uptrend. Back to the gold. 100% sleep. I don't know why I keep saying 100%. 100 sleepy. I agree. Bro, all prop firms are scams. I don't know if all of them are, but one I had experience with definitely was. Do you believe short-term trading crypto is actually a scam? I think Forex is way better. I don't believe it's a scam as well, but I just don't bother trading. There's not as much liquidity when it comes to trading crypto, so you have to be really careful what brokers you use. I would recommend Bybit. I think they've got a fair bit of liquidity to actually, so the altcoins make some moves. Easier to get involved, get in and out of trades. But I just personally wouldn't trade it, to be honest, because I feel it's the best times to trade is probably overnight my time, NY session, and maybe Asian session. I think Korea is the second most, where the second most liquidity comes out from for crypto in regards to crypto. D6, good morning. Interesting news day today, definitely is. All right, so gold is breaking below. Yeah, we want some sort of closure here. And if it begins to melt and closes significantly below, then once again, we've got the interruption play presenting. But don't have to stress it, guys. Or USD CHF. Quickly look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's looking all right above the resistance. Doing some sells back at the resistance here. So if we wipe those sellers out, close above, then it could be a decent option. GJ pulling back. All right, so the focus is gold here, guys. Now, if this is going to close more than 10 pips below, I may consider it a limit order sell at the low of this bullish candle. Yep, gotcha. Nice one. Sapphire, Rare Stones, GCAD, any view? Same as GU. Yep, definitely same as GU by the looks of it. Looks to be very bullish. A lot of time what happens is price is going to come back down, sweep the lows of the Asian session whilst we're in the uptrend, only to pop back above and we end up trending back in line with the structure itself. So for me, I'd be more bullish, but the issue is you are at resistance, so you need to be a bit more strict with it though. So perhaps wait for minimum lag closures below 184 or 1845, around it to that point there. Closures below, then you want price to pull back, retest it, and it begins to break below the catalyst candles low. That could be a potential entry for a sell. But let's focus on the gold team. No FOMO. Look at that, pulling back up, and we are safe at the minute. YouTube, only 15 likes. If you could, please just take 1 second out of your time and hit that like button for me. TikTok, a bit disappointing being shadow banned for whatever reason. Got the same amount of viewers on TikTok and YouTube. Usually by this point we've got well over 100 on TikTok. All right, so 2 minutes, guys. Let's see how this candle closes. Could we get some options to sell gold shortly? Most low of this candle. 5. Spreads like today. Yeah, spreads are below 1. Good. Well, let's see. Coming to the closure of the M30 as well. All right, so at the back of the M30, we could also have a potential limit order on, yet again, the interruption play. Let's just wait and see as candle closes. Marco, g'day to you. Thank you for the sticker. Appreciate it. Alright, looks like we could close below. So, alright guys, starting to pull away from the zone. Definitely need an upper wick. And if I take an earlier trade, so the limit order sell is going to be valid by the looks of it at the low of that bullish candle, which is, well, I may just market execute a sell if it taps into it. So that's where I'll be looking for a sell limit from. We need a low wick to, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Just to spoil it. Need a lower wick, guys. All right, gold is off the races at the minute, so there's not much I can do about it. I don't have a lower wick. It's my rule. I need a lower wick and I need an upper wick on a following candle as well before considering any entry. Just based off the fact that if you were to look to the left of the chart, a lot of time what you can see after a candle that closes like so is the following candle ends up closing looking like this. Bit of a low wick, closes back bullish. Off the back of that, I don't have a valid entry. Let's look at the 30. See, the 30 limit order still looks good. I reckon that's what I'm going to set up now. The limit order on the 30. I might remove the limit order higher up and focus on that one. The limit order on the M30. So that entry point on my broker is 33.79.45. So I've removed the limit order from higher up. And now I'm going to focus on this one here. So once again, 33.79.45. The earlier limit order play would be at the low of this bullish candle. If you're still trusting it without the wick, I mean, it still looks all right. It still looks pretty good, actually. But I'm going to focus on the one higher up. Where I'm going to place my stop. I'm going to place it just above the bodies of these candles here. Yep. That point there. So I've just set the order. So looking at a sell limit. That's what I'm currently looking at. Lashonda have been taking short since yesterday. Nice one. Marco, do you think we're going to see a continued downtrend? Look, I feel that there's a good chance price is going to tap into 33.66.65, but it could bounce off that level. In my opinion, gold's still very, very bullish, even though, yes, granted, within the current weekly, the last few days have been very bearish. Well, yesterday and so far today, rejecting the resistance formed just below the all-time high. But in my opinion, gold is still in a massive uptrend when it comes to the longer term side of things. Marco, good. Do you just sell? Cheese mobile? No. No, I've got a limit order set. Sell limit. It's based off the M30. That bullish candle. TSMEC, g'day to you. Welcome. Really tempted to start the stream again on TikTok. No, that was removing the earlier limit order, which was set up here at this horizontal. I just removed that. That's based off the 4 hour. So I just removed that and put the new limit order in.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
All right, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good.
I have a question.
Yep, go for it.
About this limit order. So, when you look on the M50 time frame, so you are going to break the bearish candle's high at the end.
Okay, yep.
So that's for me the signal at the end. So that we maybe have a sign to the upper side.
Yeah, fair enough.
So moving. Okay.
No, fair enough. This is just
you're taking this risk.
Yeah, this is the delayed limit order that
Mm.
we spoke about on Monday's members session.
Ah, okay, I was not there.
Yeah, so I'm still prepared to take it. But yeah, and I see what you mean. I definitely see what you mean. It's one of those ones you need to decide whether you're comfortable or not taking it. Maybe a small entry might be a better option.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm anticipating that we're going to have some sort of reaction to that level. Enough where I could probably get to break even, and yeah, we'll see. It could pop straight through it though, who knows.
Okay, thank you.
All good. Nev, bloody gold. Steve, lower wick on broker. Not on, tiny one on IC, but either way, it popped straight down. So we've now obviously created the upper wick. And at 234, it reacted to the 4-hour high wick. 4-hour high wick. Over there to the left, it did. And that is also, that would have been a potential entry. Didn't even see that, but yeah, wow, look at that. You'd be more than 30 pips in profit. Very well spotted, mate. Very well spotted. That is also an IC candle. 4 hours, pull back to tap into it. It's dropped a little bit below, not much. And look at it now. You'd be safely in profit. Display key? No, I've got a limit order set. Nev long term, it looks like it will make new all-time high. Yeah, I reckon it will. Yep, I agree. I think there's a good chance it will eventually reach and create an all-time high. I voiced my opinion of gold. I do believe gold will get to the point where it will be more than 10k as moving forward. Might not happen by the turn of this decade, but I do believe 5k is definitely on the cards in possibly the next few years. Who knows? Who knows? 4k could be this year potentially. Just depends. I mean, if the tariff news continues to be a good thing, as far as the tariffs not being as as huge as what was expected or anticipated, and with more tariff agreements, and apparently the US being more open to coming to agreements with countries since they're making an agreement with Japan, then that would probably be a bad thing for gold, because that would be a good thing for risk on sort of assets. So maybe off the back of that, gold might come down. But it's interesting because at the same time, I would expect the DXY to come down. And that's why I say don't worry so much about DXY if you're trying to trade gold. Focus on the gold chart itself. TikTok, do you guys mind if I stop the stream and start it again? Can you jump back on for me if I did it? Just want to see if that warning comes up again, because I'm being shadow banned for today's stream for whatever reason. It occasionally happens. All right, so what I'll do is I'll end it just now, but I will start it again immediately, like literally about 10 seconds. You will see a new stream starting, and I won't go through the countdown or that. Don't worry, it'll just be straight onto this screen. So guys, for you guys on TikTok, I'm going to end it now, but I will start it again. Keep an eye out for the notification. Sorry guys, cheers. Not sure why doing this, but anyway, start up again. All right.
Justin, did you say you've got a 4-hour IC on gold?
To the upside, well, there's one here.
No, sorry, to the downside. So on a Wander, it's completely different.
Oh, just, you mean here? Yeah, you've got it just there. I'm not sure if IC's got it. No, IC doesn't have it as well. Yeah. No, I don't have it as well on IC markets. But look at it. Either way, it's literally tapped into it. Just dropped slightly below it, and look at it now. Would you have taken that?
Well, probably actually, because it's quite a small zone, right, compared to
Yeah,
for a
true.
4-hour candle.
Yep.
Say on, like, I use Oanda on TradingView, and it's just a bullish candle for me, so
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
No, it's the same on IC markets, but it's definitely, yeah, there means well spotted. What are you thinking moving forward today? You're looking at anything? Well, you're currently in gold buy, so you're not really going to try to sell it, are you?
No, I got stopped at the gold buys, mate.
Oh, really? What do
Yeah.
what are you liking the limit order sell?
I like it, but I just don't like where it's coming from, just from this 3375 level. So
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I
It's
might,
a bit of conflicting
yeah,
story
I
when
might
it comes to your
watch
other
it.
entry. Yeah, fair
I might
enough.
watch it and then see if we get like if we pull right into it and then start to sort of maybe take lows, then I might get in like a bit of a conservative entry, I think.
Okay. Yep, fair enough. Nimsy, I've just answered that for you in the chat. Nicholas, no. No, not just yet. And I think this time I'm not getting shadow bans, so numbers have gone up pretty quick, which is good. Yeah, so I've got the limit order set for 3379.42 based off the 30-minute. That little pause play there, so the interruption candle, we'll see if it does pull back to it. There are a few little concerns here, like Franco mentioned, the 15 be creating a higher high, higher low, but more higher, lower low, higher high. Or it could even happen on the next 15-minute candle, so therefore have a high low, higher high. That is the one slight concern. The 4-hour doesn't have much of an upper wick, or doesn't really have an upper wick. There's another slight concern, but I'm willing to take the punt on this one. Still does tick the box in the M30. And again, it's just a way of layering in or getting in to an earlier position. But by no means would I go full risk on it, to be honest. This is point XK, following some moves being made. Yep. White volatile. Yep. Sapphire Redstone. Bro, UJ, any of you? I'm currently buying with a low stop loss. Okay, looks to be a pretty good level to have your stop loss. M30, has it tapped into a major zone though? Not quite in a 4-hour. I mean, it's starting to pop back above a support, but my concern would be that it still could potentially come back down to this level before it makes a deeper pullback. Yeah, look, you probably want it to remain above this minor resistance. This consolidation it's broken out of, so above 146.10, and you should be right, but the target would be 146.450. All right, TikTok. So welcome once again, guys. Thank you for that, for allowing me to quickly end the stream, start it again. So we'll say, guys, just give me 1 minute. I'll be back. What is going on TikTok? Same thing again. You're not eligible for recommendations. Restricted in search results because it contains an original or reproduced content. In what way is this reproduced? I don't know, man. TikTok, you guys, not you guys are great, but the actual platform makes no sense. Bigami, yeah, sell limit order. All right. The other thing I'm going to keep a little bit of an eye on is if this 30 closes weak bullish, we could have some potential continuation sells below the low of this pause candle. The other thing which could present is the 15-minute bearish engulfing yet again, and then it will just come down to whether or not there is the margin to sell it. So let's just measure in. We got still 40 pips. These candles are a lot of volume in them. BJ starting to look a bit better. EA. I actually want to analyze this chart. I want to keep a bit of an eye on Euro Aussie dollar. So the weekly is falling bearish as a high low, high low still to the previous daily. Is candles, well, we're tapping into some strong support, strong bearish closure on the previous daily. Not yet broken low of that previous daily candle. Make our way down to the 4-hour here, and that is bearish in structure. Nice little swing point there, some resistance, the support. It's one big level to the downside. Let's focus on the most recent. We'll see what we've got on the minor time frame below. I think from memory yesterday it's quite choppy. Just adjust that to that point there. Is there any margin whatsoever for sells below the support? Let's just measure that. Not quite. Maybe will look great though below. Adjust this across. All right, so the M30 is definitely bearish, so it's in a pretty strong downtrend at the minute. So I would preference the sells. Is approaching the resistance here at 178 flat, 178.10. That's probably where I would look for a bit of a price action catalyst to sell it. To the upside, it's a bit tricky because as soon as it break one resistance, you're running straight into another resistance, straight into another resistance. So really, what I do like about buys though is the fact it's tapped into 4-hour support and potentially could be bouncing off it. But I would, in this situation, let it cut through, pull back on the high low, maybe even look for again a little interruption play upon the pullback for potential entries. Otherwise, I'd just be waiting for price to reject any of these levels for a sell, because it's still going to be bearish. It's going to be bearish for quite some time on the 30-minute time frame here. Should you copy my entry, you should do whatever your plan is telling you to do. BME stop loss. I've got stop loss. I actually got it set at 33, 83, 84. And it's just basically at the closure of these bearish candles here to the most recent swing. It's disappointing. TikTok it's going to start to become like this. They are again clamping down on things. What is a man to do? Once again, guys, make sure to follow the YouTube stream, to subscribe to YouTube channel, guys, because if I disappear on TikTok, you guys know where to find me. I'll always be on YouTube. Keegan just started training, love the stream so far, and thanks for going into detail on when people ask questions. Huge help for the new guys, and keep up the great work. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the fact that you appreciate the education that you get for free on the stream. And yeah, it's good to have you on the on the show, on the stream, in the chat. This next key, Justin's second name is Dragon of West, who defeated the bearish dragon. I would love to be, that'd be a good good name to be known as. The Dragon of the West. Not quite though. No, at least I've got a sell limit, not a buy stop, sell limit on the based on the M30, the interruption entry delayed, albeit still interruption. Tech bots, how am I feeling today? All good, mate. Had a really good workout at the gym, obviously. Today I hit the hammies, calves, glutes, did chest and biceps as well, so it was a pretty big session, and abs, and I still knocked it all off in literally an hour, because I work at very high intensity, basically superset pretty much the whole way. Not really supersetting, just doing an exercise, for instance, on the chest, and then breaking for 30 seconds, starting again, or in between doing an ab exercise or something like that. But yeah, good day. Grayson, thank you. Watch costs. Where is TP? TP would eventually be little support here. 33.66. But I would definitely be well and truly on a way to securing a whole bag before then. YouTube guys, please hit that like button. Only 18 likes. Let's get like count up. A mode? Not just yet. No, I've got a limit order set. Ooh, but do I want to keep it there for London Open? When we're forming quite a strong bullish M30 candle here. I may remove it just before the open, and I may wait and see how the London Open candle actually forms. And I may still execute upon it, but I might market execute the sell instead. For instance, if the London Open candle pops straight up, I may just market execute around that level. But if it creates a lower wick first and then begins to pop up, then I do feel there is a good chance we're heading back up to where I've got my stop loss. 33.85, 33.84, that sort of region. So I'll give it another 2 minutes or so, and if it doesn't just reject, then I'm gonna remove it and wait for just to see how the candle forms. That's my plan. Christopher, nice one. Little draft from TikTok. Appreciate it, mate. Good to see it. Yeah, there's some numbers on YouTube. A few of you are filtering across onto YouTube. Good to see. KJ, CP 33.85. You're on a buy. Okay. Hello, what country? I'm in Australia, Melbourne, mate. Marco, which candle do you use? Which candle do I use? Time frame, I think you mean. Maybe yeah, that's what you mean. 15 predominantly, but this particular entry would be based more on a 30. Let's look at the hourly as well. All right, so there's nothing really on that time frame. Still, a 4 hours, not really got much of an upper wick, so we potentially could. Now we have tapped into, on this particular chart, an IC candle, and we are bouncing off it. All right, so we are drawing ever so close to London Open, guys. So what I'm about to do is just remove the order. I'm gonna remove it for the time being, but I still will consider executing upon it based off price action for how price action forms at session open. For instance, if we pop straight up into that level, then I may just execute a sell, market execute a sell, in anticipation that once again there is a good chance at some point we're going to pull back down to create low wick. By that point I could be safely at break even and would have been able to secure some profit in the meantime. So I have just removed the limit order and I'm going to wait for session open now. It's a safer play in my opinion. JML, sell gold. I'm looking for gold sells. Is there any potential buy option? I don't see it. Personally, don't see it. Which broker? Hemo? You're in Sydney? Okay. Just type into the chat. Egan, do you stay up for MI? Not really. I mean, I do Tuesday and Wednesday with the team and YouTube members, or member for the time being. The NY squad member, Dev. Nev, not Dev, Nev. Apologies, Nev. Do appreciate you. But that's Tuesday and Wednesday. Today I do a market update with my team, which is pre-MI. That's about 7:30 my time, so 7:30 your time as well. No, hold on, I'm getting confused. You're not. Are you from Australia as well, my friend? Thinking of a mode. Apologies. Yeah, so it's basically about an hour and a half after the stream I jump on the charts again for a quick look to see how things are going. All right, so we're about to close the pre-London candle here, and we are again remove the order. I'm waiting to see if price just pops straight up at the open. Quickly look at GJ, still back below the resistance, so for me it's a bit tricky at the moment. Still wants to come down further. German 40 back at support as well, so let's just keep an eye on the gold. We've got 40 seconds remaining. What's the leverage? 1 to 30 is ASIC regulated, so only 1 to 30, mate. It's not that big an issue, to be honest. No, it doesn't worry me. Shouldn't over leverage either way. SDX Adrian, gold is going up from what I see. Potentially, and I do believe eventually will continue bullish, but I also believe there's a good chance it's going to come back down to 33.66 prior to doing that. My opinion might change though if we begin to pop above 33 or 33.95. So all right, not what I wanted to see, to be honest. I wanted to do the opposite, where it pops straight up, pop down. So now my concern would be that seeing this counter did close back strong bullish, we begin to break it, we've got a higher low, higher high. Off the back of that, there would be a higher probability of this candle closing back bullish. So no entry for the time being on the gold, guys. Gonna sit tight and wait for a stronger confirmation. Yeah, Mo, it's fine. You don't really need any more. SDX Adrian retracing back off for our fair value. Yep, and equilibrium. We'll just wait a bit to see where it respects equilibrium. Fair enough. Hey Mo, you're looking for at least 1 to 2,000. Good luck with that. DR6, gold's still sleeping. It is at the minute. Not much going on, but could be because there is a lot of high impact news to come. Not that the euro and the pound news will really impact gold, but otherwise there is some high impact US dollar news obviously to come later today. So we'll obviously keep a bit of an eye on the euro news to come. Let's quickly look at maybe some of the euro pairs. EJ, not much going on there. EU, we'll have a look at that one. Very similar to GU, it is in a big strong uptrend, so be careful selling it. It is at a previous zone of liquidity here to the left. It is at a resistance, which is a 4-hour level. I would change that to gray now, where price at any point could begin to pull back up, bounce off it. So I'd be looking for a buy catalyst from the current level. If it were me trading EU, I'd be avoiding the sells for the time being. Don't yet have, well, we do have confirmation of the structure flipping bearish actually, but still it's in a big strong uptrend. The weekly is forming a very strong bullish candle as well, so I would still favor the weekly, and we still have a bit of margin to the upside in a higher time frame. Therefore I would be more focused on buying it. Even on the daily, got a little bit more margin to the upside. So had it tapped into the high time frame resistance and begun to reject, flipping a 30-minute structured bearish, then I would trust it more. The 4 hour as well, still got room to the upside here, so seeing it's not done so, I would just patiently wait to see if support forms to take a potential buy back up. That is my personal opinion of EU for anyone interested. And gold is pretty lifeless at the minute. YouTube, how are we going? 24 likes. Let's get that like count up, please, if you could. We've got up to 35 plus consistently the past few streams, so let's get up to that point again, please, if you could. Guys, just 1 second. Click the like button. I don't like to keep harping on about it, but it's so important for a small channel like mine to grow. Without it, people don't know I'm on. People go across to the other streams or whatever. Most of the streams don't even have someone calling anything. They're just a blank chart, or just a chart with them stop and sell orders that are always in massive profit, never in a loss. Mode, you're trying to find just market very good broker, but in Australia is banned. Yeah, it's probably because of the leverage. We're up to today. Also a bit of a pullback on silver. Nasdaq projecting the all-time high. That was the chart from yesterday. Yeah, so this is the difference between NAS and EU. NAS is actually tapped in to the level. So based off that, it is a potential point where price could reject. It's not flipping any structure. Actually, a structure is still bearish, to be honest, as long as it remains below the all-time high. Because we did create a lower low just here. So as long as we remain below the all-time high, technically the 4 hour is going to be bearish in structure. Still a big strong uptrend. 15 is very bullish. Yeah, you got more reasons to look for a sell, but you'd want, let's just say if this was NY session or pre-NY, I'd be looking for a bearish engulfing candle here, and then I'd be looking to sell it. Otherwise, I'd be focused on pullbacks to previous levels here and potential buys, to be honest. It looks like it could be ready to melt, but again, often when price is in such a strong uptrend, it's just a slow trickle back down, and then eventually it pops. and just go straight back up with momentum. So I'd be very cautious as well selling it. Alright, gold is very boring at the minute. Nothing happening, just consolidating here on a 5 minute. STX Adrian, opinion of XRP, got some points. We'll follow Bitcoin for the most part. It's just drop. Wow, big sell off actually on XRP. But as have all the alts have made a bit of a pullback. That's quite normal. Can't always go up. I think XRP is very bullish. I'd be just focused on a high time frame picture as well as what I mentioned before on Bitcoin. I would say above $2. You're still, in my opinion, uptrend is still pretty strong. But it's still valid on the high time frame anyway. 4 hour might suggest otherwise. The 4 hour, if it begins to pop below $2.80 roughly, you're going to start to flip that structure back bearish. That could also, actually no, sorry, it is at level just now, $3 basically. Closes below $3, it's when you're going to confirm a structure flip on the 4 hour. It's at daily support, so yeah, I still think it's very bullish. Perhaps look for some limit order buys at the stronger, the high time frame level. So perhaps the 4 hour / daily level, you could have a limit order buy and layer in. If you're looking for longer term positions, just layer in as it taps into previous levels. That's what I personally do. Gold being extremely tricky at the moment. Panda, I need to ask, why do you prefer a wonder? It's no reason, mate. It's probably just what came up first when I typed in EURUSD. There is no reason, to be honest. I don't trade EU. Yeah, you're gonna find obviously different brokers will have slightly different looking charts, different prices, but you know, for the most part they'll be very similar. Little interruption would have worked. Oh, Frank, I now know what you're talking about in the background. Yeah, that's because I was recording something today, so yeah.
It's all good, man. All good.
Yeah, I was wondering what you're talking about. Black. So yeah, no, I get what you mean now. I didn't realize I hadn't changed it back. SDX. Adrian, if gold continues bearish, what's your stop loss? Well, not in a trade, but where was your entry? You should be safe as long as it remains below 33.85. Take profit, I've mentioned 33.66. Building is going up. Hi, good day to you. EU, nice for buys. Yeah, potentially. it's starting to trigger in some buys at previous resistance here to the left. So maybe if this 15 closes strong bullish, followed by a minor pause on the next M15, still going to close the 30 back strong bullish above the support, and the entry point will be above the weak bearish pause candle high, like so. May not do that though, it may just rip. But that's the confirmation anyway I'd like to see personally. All right, so we've got EU news fast approaching, guys. So that's why it's probably bopping about a bit just for now. There is some very high impact news to come. You got the French PMI, and then you got the German PMI to follow 15 minutes later. So big 30 minutes or so for the euro. Mystics Adrian, same. Baran, you need HHA to go up. Yeah, again, my personal opinion is I'd rather it pop back down to 198 flat minimum before looking for buys. As per this illustration, these arrows here. Gold is just lifeless. Completely lifeless at the open, right back where we opened the London session. All right, so a minute and a half until the first wave of high impact news for the euro. Maybe let's keep a bit of an eye on it. TikTok guys, if you could smash that screen for us, because I am getting shadow banned for whatever freaking reason. So if you could please smash that screen. Next, we will London, by the looks of it. Yeah, at the minute. Gold is a shit house. Complete and utter shit house. Thanks for a pretty boring stream, to be honest, but you do. Alright, so EU. French PMI in 15 seconds, guys. Are we perhaps just grabbing liquidity in order to move down? The forecast, by the way, to be more than previous, still below 50. So anything below 50 is deemed negative, but if it's more than the previous, then it would be probably a good thing. All right, so news and gap to the upside. Let's see, probably not yet out, but all right. So flash PMI actual. Okay, so less than forecast, but more than previous. A little bit of a mixed bag. King golf is like watching paint dry. It is at the minute. It's really boring, isn't it? Probably the most uneventful it's been all week. You know, K styles effects. Yep. Should we sell? I don't believe there's any sell at the minute. SDX Adrian potentially, but it's not doing anything. We're pretty much back at the open of London session, so it's really not doing anything. Teaching patience, that's it. It's what I preach on this channel. just have a plan and stick to it. Don't deviate from it unless you have very, very good reason to do so. Unless you see some valid entry presented, don't make up a valid entry just for the sake of it. If it is a familiar price action pattern, if you're trading price action, or if you got another signal prior to your plan presenting, then that's a different story. But if not, because you just feel like you need to justify your day by taking a trade, and you take something that, you know, you think it's more of a sell, so you're just going to sell it. And if you get wrecked, all you're doing is sabotaging all the hard work that you have put in over time. So yes, patience is of virtue in this game. Keegan just took along. Okay, quick 150, nice one. Gold sniper training is like watching paint dry. Those that discipline and hang around for the process of trying to get rewarded. Agreed, very much so. Some will have, you know, particular entry styles which will go down to even the 1 minute, which will, you know, give them potentially more options. They're likely going to have a slightly less of a win rate, but doesn't mean they're not any worse off or anything. But it's just their edge, just what they use to make some profit from the market. I used the 5, 15 and up as my edge, and at the minute I really don't have anything because it's just, there is nothing happening. We're literally at the open of London session right now. There's no real clear price action. There is no clear direction. It does look like we are still quite bearish here, but I don't have any confirmation, nor do I have a really solid level to be selling it from at the minute. I would rather sell the pullback, to be honest. We've got a candle forming here bearish with 11.5 minutes remaining, but it does have a high low, high high, so it's a little bit all over the shop. Keegan, you meant EU? Oh, nice one. Yeah, a bit risky with the news, but as far as a level to get involved, I think it's a pretty good one. But then let me look at something here. Oh, look at that. You know, you take confirmation in 15 candle closure or 30. Just depends on the circumstances, but more so than not now it's the M15. SDX Adrian daily retracing fair value up, but doubt it might continue to go down. Gold. Fair enough. Again, it's, you're more than entitled to your opinion of things. I don't trade fair value gaps, but I see it as prices reacting to the resistance at the all-time high. It's rejecting it. We do have counter probabilities to the downside, so in my opinion there's a good chance it still could continue bearish. But even based off that, I don't have a catalyst to take an entry. I can't trade what I think will happen. I need to react to what I see happening, and at the minute we're not really at a level where I can get involved, to be honest. It's just choppy price action, indecisive price action, no clear direction. It's just a mess at the minute. Makes it very difficult to execute on high probability trades. Anyhow, UJ looks nice for sales, and 15 close below support, but 30 tricky. Below the resistance. Almost right out of that resistance. Got no upper wick. Yeah, it does look a bit not my cup of tea because it's got no wick. Nothing standing out, in all honesty, guys. The charts are pretty rank. Yeah, EA is consolidating. DJ back below the resistance, so not looking great. GA, don't know when I last had a look at this thing, but it's at some pretty strong support. GU, as I mentioned before, I want it to pop down to that 4-hour support. Bounce off it. EU, yeah, more news to come for EU. AU, still cannot believe this. The Australian dollar is leading the pack when it comes to the majors at the minute, which is very rare these days, but it's still pushing very bullish. I think spurred by the off the back of the news coming out of Asia today. Obviously one of our trade partners, one of our big trade partners in Japan. I think the news out of China might be a little bit better as well. I did hear something. And also maybe spurring the Aussie dollar to the upside. Governor Ballake, not the rain, but anyway. I think has also come out and said a few things in regards to interest rates. So that perhaps they might not be coming down as quickly as everyone anticipates, but yeah, wait and see. Vegan? No, I just don't need to be honest. What I do works for me, just using zones. And for the most part, the zones will actually line up with trend line. So if you were to, for instance, draw in a trend line here to in a downtrend, you've got literally the zones lining up. You've got the that zone tapping lining up with perfectly with the trend line. Obviously, you got the upper part of the zone here, which obviously is up as the highest point of the zone to the upside there. So yeah, that's just, again, this is what works for me. Each their own, but I like to keep the chart nice and neat. I've mentioned many a times before, I could literally trade that, to be honest. It's always good to have a bit of a visual. Just makes case. Gold is very indecisive. Need to wait for strong confirmation, or I need to use my chi power to push. Yep, that might be required. The use of the chi power. Nothing seems to be moving it at the minute. Last time day for streaming trading was another thing I was told by testing in my session. Yeah, did that before. Once I probably will do it when I'm over. Well, if I get to Thailand, bloody hell. I don't know if you guys heard news out of there. They're all of a sudden at war. Well, the border region with Cambodia, they're firing shots. There's been a few deaths already, civilians as well. So, geez, I hope it doesn't escalate. But when I eventually get there, which is supposed to be in just under 3 weeks from now, I may chop and change, or I might just add an occasional NY session to try and get a few more viewers on board. There is someone streaming in UK just now, 800k subs, 70 watching. Yeah, they're probably all paid subs. I looked at it, to be honest. I looked at it just to see what it's all about, but that's what it probably is. It's all paid subs. Bots. They're probably not real subs. Vegan, so how are your zones being found? Is it top of no, it's not doji candles. It's just pullbacks, resistance. So bullish candles form support. So initially I would have had a support here. It's off 15. We've obviously pushed below it. So now I could really mark in another level of support here. The gray zones are the 4-hour zone, so I'd change that to blue. Then the minor time frame zones. I could, if I wanted to, add another zone in here. But to be honest, I'm not going to look to buy it above it, so I'm not that concerned. Look, if it does reject and I have any sort of margin, I may consider selling it, but I'm likely not going to have it. So I would just draw in the level where I believe I'd have more probability of getting involved in a trade that will give me a few things, such as the margin, maybe the right sort of catalyst, and pull back enough to suggest to me perhaps we grab the necessary liquidity in order to make another move back down. So I would preference the zone higher up, but I could easily add zones in here if I wanted, just to keep the chart neat. I'm fully aware it's there, and I would consider options to sell it if we did reject the level just below the level I've drawn in here. So the downside is the lowest point of any bullish candle connected to the lowest closure of any bullish candle. I want to make sure it's a bullish candle that confirms support. More often than not, it's going to be the same candle, and to the upside, Yeah, you can do that, but I'd want it a little bit deeper, so I've connected it to the body of the bearish candle beside it, but it has to connect to the highest point of any bearish candle. Bearish candles are obviously what confirm resistance. I'm not so concerned by the bullish wick, more concerned by the bearish wicks to the upside. SDX Adrian, it's not technically a stock, but I understand what you mean. Arafin, more into you. Missed it all today. There's nothing just yet. It's been shit. Had a couple of limit orders set, but I've removed them. I DE40 sells. Yeah, I mentioned before, clean move down, cut through all this mess to the left, then pull back. God, I will not be interested otherwise. No, you've not missed anything for the time being. All good, mate. All good. How about you? His numbers are dropped on both platforms. They're across the board. Being shadow banned by TikTok. And to make matters worse, that's an absolute shithouse. Last night, prepared value gap's just another term for market imbalance. Just thought I'd clear that up. Yeah. I respect, the way people trade, but for me, it means absolutely nothing. Fair value gap. Sometimes my entries might line up with a fair value gap, but I wouldn't even know it. It's not what I'm focused on. I just trade what I see in front of me, basically. As you're well aware, you do pretty much the same as well. So maybe on a slightly different time frame, looking at slightly different confirmations. All right, German news to come in a few moments, guys. So maybe once again keep an eye on the euro here, and let's have a look at the forecast for German PMI to come. So the forecast is just a little bit higher than previous, still below 50. You've got flash PMI though above 50, it's supposed to be as per the previous, so looking a little bit more bright when it comes to the German sector, the German side of things. Obviously, you got so much news to come for the euro as well moving forward. You got, actually, sorry, looking at the pound PMI. Forecast for German though is to be 50. So let's see. Just a few seconds now, guys. Let's see what sort of impact that has on the euro. Gold there is still absolutely nothing. Oh, wait for it. Alright, it's popping down. Got a financial juice for the breaking news, more up to date. Whatever loads. Okay, it doesn't have the German news here. Yeah, it does. Okay, so it's more than 50, but less than previous. So slightly on the negative side of things for the euro here, so hence the move to the downside, but really not much going on there. Much of a muchness. I still believe it's in a pretty strong uptrend, to be honest. And I would still be looking for buy options if it were me. Ball, don't stress about numbers, you'll go ball. Yeah. Always has to be someone, doesn't it? I love being ball, mate. It's easy. Wake up, don't think about it. I used to be one of those guys back in the day when I was a young man. I used to have the hair to be perfect. Probably why I don't have any left, to be honest. All the crap I used to put in it. Gold's not ready to go up. I believe it too. I think it will continue bullish once obviously impact news is filtered through. It doesn't look like much is happening way after news. And gold is terrible. STX agent? Oh, you're talking about GC? DJR? Fair enough, I don't know where it is, but all good. Look at that for a mess. Yeah, it's very, very ugly at minute here on gold. EJ looking pretty good, but still got 26 minutes remaining on this M30. Currency pairs I generally focus on the higher time frame, but let's just see, is it in a big strong uptrend? Because if it is, then perhaps the 15 will be good enough. You got the weekly, bit of an indecision candle here on the weekly. It does have a lower high, lower low. It looks terrible on the daily. Isn't it an uptrend though? Structure is bullish. Inside bar candle, previous daily, long lower wick to obviously to the downside. Last few daily candles done pretty much the exact same thing. So it's in a nasty range, as we can see. The 4 hour, it's calling up here. Not really doing all that much. Probably isn't the margin to buy it. Rel, thank you for the sticker, appreciate it. I think gold has been so good these few days. Asian session is where it's at, to be honest. Does it look good today? I don't really see much out of today though, to be honest. I wasn't on the charts. I was at the gym and then went and had a coffee with the missus. Doesn't seem like I missed much though, Asian session today, to be honest. Bought 1500 pips like 20 times. Why does that not surprise me? But I'm glad you're on the right side of things, mate, so I'm happy to hear it. Timo, what is TJR? You're the second person that's mentioned it. I have no idea what TJR strategy is. This is price action, mate. This is pure price action based on a bias, and the bias is more determined by looking at the way the daily candle is forming, the weekly candle is forming, using structure and levels on the 4 hour, and also structure and levels on the minor time frame, that being the 15, and then waiting simply for price action catalysts, some signals within price action. How did I learn a strategy? Through over more than 8 years now of training. A lot of it was through my previous group that I was a student of, and then became an educator also within that group. But I've tweaked it a lot. Like even the guys who are in that group will know I've tweaked it a hell of a lot. It's quite different, to be honest. These days it's actually very different these days. We've got many different entries. Never used to use the 15-minute time frame or the 5 very, very sparingly. We never used to really trade gold, to be honest. I was one of the only ones that probably did. So yeah, a lot of it's just through my own, research and that as well. What I like to see happening through also some mates of mine, some of their suggestions as well. I've looked into it and adapted things to suit me as well. And but for the most part, all the rules I've created myself as to what I want to see to validate certain entries. And yeah, that's pretty much where I've got to, how I've got to where I am today. Is start trading as a swing trader, trading crypto, all those 8 years or so ago, a long time ago now. Arafin, probably going to become OG number 2. If who that is. Can we sell gold? Eno, if you want. I don't see there being a sell option in a minute. Again, I have no idea who this TJR is. So 2022 strategy. You guys just got to watch. Guns and gats, I agree. Gold is just chopping about. There is no clear direction or any price action signal or catalyst at all. It's just shit. It's really slow at the moment. I think that's also perhaps why the numbers are a little bit down. But it is what it is, all good. Arafin TJR is just a rich 22-year-old from trading. Yeah, perhaps, or perhaps he's come from a wealthy background and that's where he gets his cash from. Be careful what you believe. Be careful, guys. If he trades live, not a problem. Granted, then good luck to him. I wish him all the best. But if he just shows results in that, just be careful. That's why I always suggest. If you don't like what I do, I understand. It's not a problem. But whatever you do, I would only trust someone who does it live. Because you're putting yourself out there, people can see kind of what you're doing and what you're, if you actually, you know, your win rate, that type of thing. Do you win more than you lose? Do you actually have any idea about what you're talking about as well? It's so easy for someone just to, you know, literally do this, or even just bloody go onto the internet these days and, you know, generate a bloody, what's it called, a MetaTrader result page or whatever. So, but what you're going to see for the most part is this: how I snipe the bottom, and they haven't taken a trade. There's a really probably a 95% chance of not actually taking a trade. They just put this little risk to reward box up. I'll come up with one reason afterwards why they took or whatever, and they're going to charge whatever for a course, a couple K or whatever, and people are going to fall for it. And the course, for the most part, is likely being passed down from someone else. It was just copy paste it. Unfortunately, the first group I was ever involved with was a lot like that. The signals, it did include signals, and the signals were a copy and paste from another group. I'm not sure if there were multiple groups working with each other in regards to the signals. But it was funny because there was someone else in a group sent me a message one particular day and said, have a look at this. He's in another signal group, and it was literally the exact same signals. The exact same. Forex, the crypto signals were the exact same thing. So they're copying and pasting from someone else a lot of the time. That's why I suggest follow someone who does it live and decide for yourself whether you like what they do, or if you don't, fair enough. But we can't really hide anything. He's training live, then fantastic. And kudos to him. Good work. I respect that. He doesn't lie, it's 2022 strategy and it's been working for now. Happy to hear it. Still on point. Nice one. Well, that's it. If he's training live, then good luck to him. Full respect. Full respect. Okay, you can copper to $6. What? I don't even know what ticker symbol is for copper. Yeah, but copper is another, you know, metal. Industrial metal. It's not a precious metal. It's obviously of high use case. Used in pretty much everything. So, also getting a bit by the sounds of it. Tommy, I mean, I'll be on for a quick update, but it won't be probably in my call like the last few days. So, all good, brother. If I catch you later on, not a problem. Otherwise, go well, and I'll, yeah. Catch you soon. No worries, mate. Just playing ski. Gold is doing a bug strategy in 5 minutes time. It is. I've heard some people actually trade this. Not this is not word of lie. When it taps in, they sell it. When it taps into port, they buy it. And they're just in and out. And good luck to them again if they can make it work. It's just not what I would do. I'd be worried every time I tried it. I'm just going to be the one that rips straight through it. I get torn a new hole, which is not what I want. SDX currently waiting for 3 confluences is more safe. Yeah, waiting. I always say that to my team as well. You want to tick off at least 3 confluences prior to any entry, minimum. Franco, all good, mate. Not a problem. AI selling off. Yeah, fair enough. I just don't see sells, to be honest. It's in a really strong uptrend. I prefer the buys. That's my preference. Alrighty, team. Well, charts are shit, so I'm gonna get going. I think it's reflecting in the stream numbers as well. Should be all good tomorrow. Should be on tomorrow. It'll be about 30 minutes prior to London Open. From my guys, I will keep you guys posted. Probably about 2 hours from now, we'll jump on for a quick call, see where we're at. But guys, again, appreciate the support. Yeah, not much we can do about today. It's really shit price action. So I'd rather just chill and not get involved in anything less probable. So that's what I'm deciding to do. Carl, thank you. Paul, cheers. TikTok, thank you to those who have joined the stream and participated in Pat in the chat. I'm dyslexic today, but yeah, I hope I don't get shadow banned any further. That's a bit disappointing. Nev, Christopher, Keegan, thanks guys. Everyone else, TikTok, later to you. Thanks, Adrian, appreciate it. Everything. Possible to become a broker. I think you need at least minimum. I think it's 250k US. I think the minimum. Could be wrong. I think it could be more than that. Could be 2.5 mil. I'm not sure. But yeah. Anyway, guys, take care. Have a good one. Trade safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, cheers, team. Bye.